really important to remember that when you're installing the banks, when you want to drop the samples into your Digitakt, make sure you're in the Explore tab of the transfer software. And when you want to drop the sysx files into the Elektron, make sure that you've got, it ready to receive that data in which bank you want it to go to, and then you're going to use the Drop tab on the transfer software to drop the sysx files.
Electronisounds Audio, the YouTube channel for you.
Hey, what's happening, guys? It's Dean from Electronisounds. For those of you who don't know, I'm a huge fan of the Elektron Digitakt, and I've made 7 sound banks for it, over 1,000 sounds. Today, I'm going to show you an updated and simplified way to install my sound banks into your Elektron Digitakt. Let's get into this. Just so you know, today's video is just a quick installation how-to. It's not necessarily a hard sell video where I'm going to sit here for 20 minutes telling you how awesome these banks are and how much they're going to improve your personal workflow inside of the Digitakt. Although they are, and they will. We're only going to need one piece of software to transfer the samples and the sysx files into our Digitakt, and that's the transfer software from Elektron. So the very first step is you're going to want to go to the Elektron website and download the transfer software. We're using a Mac today to install these sound banks, but this process is exactly the same with a Windows computer. We've now got the Digitakt turned on, and I've got the USB cable coming out of the back of the Digitakt going into the back of the computer. We've got the transfer application open. All I need to do now is on the MIDI in section at the bottom, I need to tell it to connect to the Digitakt by selecting Elektron Digitakt in 1. And then for MIDI out, I need to select Elektron Digitakt out 1. And now I can click connect, and I'm actually got the computer connected to the Digitakt. Now we'll be installing these packs individually today. You'll be installing the packs in your Digitakt individually, whether you've bought just a few packs or whether you've bought the complete bundle. We'll start by installing the Prime Kicks pack today, and I'm going to start by scrolling over to the location on my computer where I've downloaded the Prime Kicks pack, and inside of the Prime Kicks folder, you're going to find another folder called Prime Kicks, which contains the actual Prime Kicks samples, and you're also going to find a Prime Kicks sysx file. You're going to need both of these files to be installed into your Digitakt. We're going to start today by, in the transfer app, we're going to click on the upper right hand corner, and we're going to choose Explore. This is going to allow us to see the inside of our Digitakt on the right screen of the transfer app, and it's going to allow us to navigate through our computer on the left screen if we so need to do that. But we can just do a quick drag and drop here of the Prime Kicks samples folder and just drop that right into our Digitakt by dropping it in the upper right hand window. Then if we wait just a few seconds, the Digitakt will process all of these samples, and it's importing these into it now. We're going to go ahead and install the sysx file at this time, and what this does is it gives names to all of the samples, it gives categories, and saves all of the settings for all of these presets inside of the Digitakt so that you can easily scroll through them and pick what sounds you'd like to load into your project. We're going to go ahead and click the gear icon over here, and we're going to scroll down to sysx dump. We're going to hit yes, and we're going to scroll down to sysx receive. We're going to go ahead and hit yes. At this point, you're going to need to tell the Digitakt whether you want to import some sounds or some patterns. We're going to go ahead and scroll down to sounds, and we're going to click yes. Now you're going to navigate to where exactly you would like to store these presets inside of the 8 available banks. You've got bank A, bank B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. Each bank will hold 256 presets, and how you install my patches into your Digitakt is completely up to you. One of the things that I thought at the beginning when I made these is I might like to have my kick drum bank on bank B, might like to have my snare bank on bank C, hats on D, percussion on E, playable melodic sounds cycles on G, and then percussion on F, and then the lo-fi dub bank on H. But how you install these is completely up to you. My packs contain 128 presets in each pack, except for the dub pack, which is a full 256. So you can get 2 packs inside of one bank. You could put the kicks and snares inside of bank B. You could put the hats and percussion inside of bank C, etc., etc. How you file these is completely up to you. We're going to go ahead and navigate now to bank B. And if you look at the screen, it will tell you next to the bank letter, it'll tell you a number. And that number is how many available preset slots you've got in that bank. So currently, this is a brand new Digitakt, and I've got 192 slots available in bank A. That's the default amount, and 256 slots available in all of the other 7 banks. I'm going to go ahead and just scroll back up and install these kicks into bank B. So I'm going to select bank B. I'm going to click yes. And now the Digitakt says waiting data. And on the transfer software, we're going to go ahead and navigate to a different panel at this time. In the upper right, we're going to choose the drop panel, tab rather, not panel, but the drop tab. And here you can see that it just says drop files here, and it gives us the option to go ahead and drop a sysx file. So we're going to grab the prime kicks sysx file, and we're going to go ahead and drop that into the Digitakt. Now the Digitakt is telling us received sounds, 128 sounds. We're going to go ahead and click no a couple of times to get back to the main menu of the Digitakt, and to see these patches inside of the Digitakt when you're scrolling for sounds now, all we have to do is hold the function and click the little move the little level data knob over here, and now we can scroll between the banks. We can see in bank 1 we've got the installed presets that came with the Digitakt, and now inside of bank 2, if we scroll down, we've got 128 kick drum presets installed inside of bank B here, and we can just load these as we choose. Once you've got all of my presets installed into your Digitakt, you're going to need to know how to load those and how to browse those through the sound pool of the Digitakt. If you don't know how to do that yet, no worries. I'm going to make a detailed video about the sound pool, what it is, and how to use it coming right up soon. Let's go ahead and install the Prime Snares pack. You're going to do this exact same process for all of the packs individually that you've purchased. So we're going to go ahead and start with the Prime Snares sample folder. We're going to go back into the Explore tab on the transfer software, and we're going to navigate to where I've got the Prime Snares sample pack downloaded on the computer. We're going to grab the folder of samples and go ahead and drop that into our Digitakt by dropping the folder into the window on the upper right. We'll let it process these sounds. And now we'll need to install the sysx file to tell the patches where to go inside of our Digitakt. We're going to go ahead and click on the gear. We're going to click on sysx dump. We're going to make sure that we're on receive. And now it's going to let you into your banks again, where you can decide which of these banks you'd like to install the presets in. Just want to say again that my patch banks all contain 128 sounds. So you can get 2 inside of a bank in your Digitakt, or you can install them one sound bank to each bank if you want, but that leaves some extra sounds. It's really up to you, how you install these into your Digitakt. But we're going to go ahead and choose bank B this time. It shows us that we have 128 available slots remaining. I'm going to go ahead and click yes, and it says that it's waiting for data. We're going to use the transfer app and go back to the drop tab on the transfer app, and I'm going to grab the sysx file for the Prime Snares, and we're going to go ahead and drop that in. Now it's telling us that we've received 256 sounds in this bank, so we're going to go ahead and click no a couple of times, and we're going to get back to our main menu. Now if we hold the function and touch the level data wheel, now if we scroll down beneath those kick drums, once I get to patch 129, we're going to start scrolling through snare drums now. And if we scroll down to the bottom, we've officially got all 256 sound slots filled inside of bank B. So now we can just move between our banks, bank A to H, and depending on where you've installed the sounds, that's where you're going to be scrolling. So that's really up to you which banks and how many of the patches, whether you install 2 banks of my banks inside of 1 bank in the Digitakt, or whether you do 1 bank per bank and then leave the open slots at the end per se. My banks do not take up a whole lot of room in your Digitakt. Let's go ahead and get them all installed, and I'll check back in with you guys and show you just exactly how much space in the Digitakt all 7 banks will take. Now we're in the main storage menu of the Digitakt, and you can see that even after installing all 7 of my sound packs, it only takes up 4% of the storage inside of your Digitakt. I spent a lot of time trying to maximize the amount of sample time inside of my sound banks to give you guys the least amount of, to take up the least amount of space in your Digitakt as possible. So even with all 7 banks installed, it only takes up 4% of the available memory in your Digitakt. We've installed my patches today inside of a brand new Digitakt, and here we can see inside of the SysX import menu just how many available patch slots are available in the existing banks here. So in bank A, there's still 192 patch slots available. Banks B, C, D, and E are all now full of my patches. Banks F, G, and H are completely empty and still have 256 available sound slots. Keep in mind that we could have installed one bank of mine in each of these banks here. How you install them in your Digitakt is completely up to you.